Recording is on.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I'm your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
Ooh, I made it back in time. I had to go season my food real quick. Oh shit.
We have Xavier.
Hello again.
We got Tony.
What's going on? Still writing tickets.
We got Mark.
Yo.
And we got fellow Gister. I think that's Phil. I'm not sure. Pretty sure that's Phil.
Damn.
Like I said. There's a lot that went through today, fellas. What do y'all want to start? Y'all seen the list. What do y'all want to start with today?
Wait, who's fellow Jitster again?
I'm not sure. Is it? Phil, is that you?
Hold on, let me ask.
Where's the
Yo,
list?
you in a podcast? All right, hold on. That's not Phil.
That's not.
No.
Oh, that's one.
Yeah, I just asked Phil, was that him? He said no. He only wants Popeye chicken sandwiches.
Let's just talk about first the Charlie's Angels bombed.
You want to go there? We can go there. I would, because that was a very interesting topic to talk about.
It's on the list. Gag order. Let's talk about the order.
All right.
And I'm not starting.
All right. That's fine. If anything, because if anybody knows, Charlie's Angels came out last week and it bombed terribly in the theaters. It only made $8.6 billion in the theaters opening weekend. And Elizabeth Banks, who directed it, kind of blamed it on men. And was basically like, she was going on, and I'm paraphrasing. She was saying things like, "Oh my God, who is that?"
God damn.
Who is it? Who's falling down the stairs?
It's me.
Wait, Ryan, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He said it's me like we supposed to know. We've been trying to figure out who this person was.
Are you serious? Oh my Lord.
Who is that?
Oh my gosh. Let's figure Ryan.
Hey, wait, this Ryan?
Yeah.
Come on. All right, let's go.
All right. Wow. All right, Ryan. I know why you're doing it, because there's no nothing to bend on. I keep sharing them pictures of women. That's probably why you're doing it.
Oh no. I'm actually here for the conversation. I'm curious.
Well,
yes, I'm not trying to have this go all the way to 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. Well, welcome to the conversation, Ryan. And two, would you please label yourself so people can know who you are? As I was saying, Elizabeth Banks, she was saying quotes like, the movie was trying to take a more woke approach as a modern day feminism. She was saying things like, Spider-Man got like 17 reboots. Can they have at least a woman-led movie? Can have one every 17? And a lot of people was bringing up like Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel that did well, but she was like, those don't count because it was part of a universe movie, which it was like a setup for a whole time movie. So, how do y'all feel about Charlie's Angels being bombed? and her kind of blaming it on men with
She
this
didn't
flick.
blame it on men. I think there people were twisting her words. She said it reinforces the stereotype that men don't see women movies. And what's the stereotype I've seen not only in movies but across every genre, including music and video games. That's what she's talking about. Now, I feel the movie bombed because I seen a trailer earlier this year, like January, February, and didn't see nothing after that. Even when I went to the movies to see Joker and other movies. Now, the stereotype of men not wanting to watch these movies, I've seen it, especially nowadays in this climate. When Star Wars came out, when Episode 7 came out in 2017, when they started promoting that movie, there were a bunch of men, a bunch of white men, most likely, who was upset that it was a black male lead and a white woman lead. And then in the background of Uncharted 4, one of the testers complained that one of the antagonists was a black woman, and he complained about Nathan Drake's daughter being having a daughter and not a son. He was upset about that, like really disgusted by it, the way they described it. So there's some truth to what she's saying. Now, does it directly affect Charlie Angels? Maybe not. It's hard to tell, but she has some truth to what she was saying.
And that's
Oh, there's some.
everything that Phil is saying. I agree with, because this is the argument I was having with a fellow commentator on here. Because I feel like people are just playing themselves and trying to act like they don't understand. I said this movie is not a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this
Or a DC
movie
movie.
is not. Or a DC movie. Okay, men will go see a Wonder Woman movie, a Captain Marvel movie. This is Charlie's Angels, aka a chick flick. They're not. The guys are seeing that. I said it's either guys who are into Charlie's Angels, who are straight, that will see it, and it's gay men. Okay, but the regular schmegglers who will go see like Captain Marvel or Superwoman, they're not seeing this movie. And that's a fact, because people tried to play back when the first Charlie's Angels movie came out with Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore. But that movie was very good and it did very well. But I think it's because those actors were a little bit more in than these actors are. Because the only person who I really know is Kristen Stewart like that. But Kristen Stewart, well, I can't even say that because Cameron Diaz is not known for action either. So, but when I saw Kristen Stewart, I was just like, eh. But the thing is, though, in that movie, they looked more serious. The one that came out in 2000, like they look more serious, especially with Lucy Liu badass on there. So if Lucy Liu is in there, then it has to be somewhat good, because she don't do bullshit movies. So I kept arguing the point of, yeah, like if men was to go support this movie the same way they support, say if they did a movie on Storm, or they did a movie on Jubilee, yeah, because even the Dark Phoenix did way better than this,
Which is sad. Dark Phoenix was
and
horrible.
that was considered a flunk as well, but it made a lot of money. But I will say,
Like I think.
I didn't care for this movie though. I definitely will say that, and that's because I'm a fan of Charlie's Angels, and it didn't look good. It didn't give me what Charlie's Angels is known for. It was kind of corny, lackluster, so to speak.
Hey, so I got a question, right? It reminds me of the blockbuster. I mean, it reminds me of the Ghostbuster with all the females. Which one bombed worse?
I think the Ghostbusters one bomb
This
worse.
one maybe
No,
block.
I think this
This
one,
one.
because Ghostbusters made way more money.
This one made.
Yeah,
Oh, for
This
real?
one
I
made
think as
only
far as
$8 million in on the opening weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as like
Oh,
people wanting it to be canceled, that leans more towards Ghostbusters because people didn't want to see the cast replaced with all females. They tried to get it shut down. They tried to like boycott it before it even hit the theater. And when it hit the theater, it didn't do so well. But this movie, nobody really tried to like stop it from being made. But when it hit, it just didn't hit the mark. Like that was my point where she also said that like, oh, you guys are cool with like 38 or 17 whatever Spider-Man movies. I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true either. People been trying to tell Sony to stop that shit for years. But because Sony has that money to keep pushing it down your throat and make you see this movie, like not drag you in it, but I'm saying like they're gonna keep making stuff until they hit it on the mark. And it's just like, fine, whatever. Like y'all keep making this stuff, y'all don't stop. The same thing was with the X-Men. Like I've been on my hands and knees praying for Fox to stop this. Stop making X-Men movies. They're not good. And majority of them are not good. So like, but they have that money and they have that X-Men name to keep pushing,
Yeah, and people like you will keep seeing
and make you
Spider-Man.
swallow it. I haven't seen all Spider-Man movies in theaters.
You haven't seen the
Not
last
in
two?
theaters. I haven't. Yeah, I've seen them, but I
Okay.
haven't seen all the Spider-Man movies
Bye.
in theaters. No.
So, like I was
What you
telling him,
mean?
because I just said you seen like most of them. You probably didn't see one. You said you seen all of them, most of them in theater.
No, I said I didn't see all of them in theaters. No,
I'm talking about before
I skipped
before
so
this
many.
conversation. I know we've talked about you. Anyways, this is besides the point. The last Charlie's Angels movie that came out was like 2004. So people like me have been waiting for like someone to come out with a new version of Charlie's Angels. So it's fine for them to redo this because you can't say who's been wanting this movie. The fans, okay? Because nobody's sitting there asking for no damn black and Puerto Rican Spider-Man. But guess what? People are who? The fans. They're the ones who's wanting it. And now that we got our damn movie, it's whack. And if it had gotten more support, and like Phil said, if it hadn't gotten more advertisement, because I barely saw commercials for it either until it was time for the movie to come out.
I didn't even know the movie came out until 4 days later and somebody posted that article.
Yeah,
I forgot it existed.
I know the joint was out. I seen one trailer, and that was when we went to go see Maleficent. That was the only
like
trailer
what
I saw, and I
happened
was like,
to
"Oh,
the
they
days of
remaking
actresses going out and talking about the movie before it came out and all this other stuff?"
Yeah.
I ain't seen none of that.
Okay.
It's just like,
Well, first things first. I agree with Xavier with the whole the Wonder Woman's and the Captain Marvel being tied to a bigger movie set like the Avengers and the Justice League. I do agree with that because even though I always thought Wonder Woman was a name on its own that could sell, but at the same time, her being in the Justice League movie did help, and her being a good movie did help. Second thing, as a fan of the Charlie's Angels movie in 2003, I believe that's when it came out. I think it was promoted better, even though this one they cut their promotion by half. They had $100 million promotion, and they cut it in half to $50 million. But that shouldn't matter anyway. That shouldn't matter anyway because Get Out didn't have that much money promoted, and everybody saw Get Out. Black Panther wasn't really.
I didn't see Get Out.
Huh?
I didn't see Get Out.
I saw Get
Who didn't
Out.
see Get Out?
I didn't. Like
First, Jay-Z didn't see Get Out. I saw Get Out, and the only time I remember being promoted heavy was in the movie theaters. Black Panther was people was going to see Black Panther whether that was going to be promoted or not. That was just word of mouth. But I would say,
but I also, the funny thing about Black Panther that threw me off was when people was like, I was going to go see it until I found out it wasn't about the civil rights organization. And I'm like, did you not see a single trailer? You didn't see anything? It has nothing to do with that movement. This is about a prince from Wakanda that has a cat suit beating people up. not about that.
But
So
people
some
still
people
saw
did
it.
drop the movie because it wasn't what they wanted. But I'm like, okay, well, don't go see it then.
I mean, but people still saw it. It broke 1 billion, I think.
Oh yeah,
So
it's the highest solo Marvel movie like with one guy. He made that Black Panther made the most money solo.
Mhm.
But if you ask me, even though like the girls are beautiful,
Hmm.
but I didn't know who they were. I just realized that was the Pink Ranger from the Power Rangers movie. What's her name? Naomi Scott,
Yeah,
and that was Princess Jasmine.
yeah.
Though. I just realized that was her. I just realized who Kristen Stewart is, but I didn't watch Twilight Heavy. I don't even know who that black
Hmm.
girl is. I just thought she was fine. But I would have, I just for real, I
Just
just
like
thought
a
she was
nigga.
fine.
I think it
But I don't know
could have
where
been
she's
better
from. I
if
can
they
understand one
just
fresh
put
faces, but I don't know. I didn't see them a lot promoting the movie either. Just Elizabeth Banks,
Mhm.
and also the way to me the way they was going for it, the way I saw it in the trailers. I know they tried to look more serious, more Mission Impossible like, but I
Hmm.
think people who all saw the old Charlie's Angels movie, the ones that came out in 2003, I think they was expecting more of a goofy role, especially if it's coming from like the 70s, and the 70s was like
yeah,
real
it's
goofy either.
campy.
Oh
It's
God,
camp.
that poster is horrible.
Exactly.
It's fucking it's campy as fuck. So even the Charlie's Angels one in 2003 was campy. Although it was campy, it was very entertaining to watch too.
But you also
So
you also got to think about this. I'm looking it up right now, right? You got Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz, Demi Moore, and Bernie Mac.
I was just about to say that. I
Then you
forgot
got
he
then
was
you
in that
got
joint.
then you got Luke Wilson, and then you got the guy from France, and then you
Joey,
got then you got the guy from the Power Rangers when he was young. This is just the first six cast members in the Charlie's Angels, which was way better because Drew Barrymore, she was doing her thing with Adam Sandler, and Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu and Demi Moore. I mean, that
Yeah,
would make you want to
I
see the movie
think
first. And this
I
movie
I
right
think it
here,
would have
you
been a
only knew one.
better option. I think it would have been a better option if they said, "All right, okay, cool. Like, let's go back to the roots and maybe make it a TV show, and get maybe
Well,
more of
they
a
were
cast that
trying to do
people
a
would have
TV
been
show,
more
but it got
for."
canceled.
Oh
I think
damn!
it has episodes too. I think it actually has episodes. It's just no one watched it.
Oh, that's
But
great.
at the same time,
Wow.
I didn't know that was out either. So I don't know how
No, I
heavily that was
didn't. I
promoted.
thought right because I'm thinking like since it started as a TV show, maybe people want to see it to its roots. But shit, damn,
Mm.
Mm.
because that's what it. Damn, that's crazy. The only thing like about what Elizabeth Banks said that it it's kind of like itching me. I'm just kind of like, well, the movies when it comes to like Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel and stuff like that, they lead back to a franchise that's focused on money. I don't think those genres are about male dominance or a male geared thing. I think it's literally just DC and Marvel. They personally care about, okay, we want money. So if we make these movies, men and women are going to go see them and we're going to lead you back into Avengers or Justice League with these solo characters. My thing is like, what if they didn't make Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel? People would have complained that there is no female movie or female characters in these leads. So it's like, well, now that they're made, you want to use that as a complaint. But it's like if they weren't made, you would complain about that. So where's the line?
I don't think they would have never been made in the first place though, because of all the comics.
Wait, what you mean by that?
Who? I mean, how many? How many?
Xavier, you
I
said
mean,
you don't think they would
they
have
would
done?
have been made eventually. They have. They
You
have.
talking about Wonder
They have their
Woman
own. They have their
and
own comics.
They do, but Captain Marvel is not as household. She doesn't sell well, and all her stuff gets retconned like every year or two. She's not really like a name that people really know. That's why if you look at her movie and then compare it to the comics, it's like completely different because they really just tried to switch it up and push like that whole go kind of feminist thing, and they even admitted they did that. That's why they changed a bunch of characters in that film who were dudes to females just to kind of gear that up a little bit more. They admitted that they did that. So it's like, what if Wonder Woman, like Ray said and you said too, like she could sell by herself. I think Wonder Woman is a very household name. My problem with Wonder Woman is how DC carries her because they always downgrade her character when she gets around Batman or Superman. They always put her in the background like she's not Wonder Woman. I have an issue with that. But my thing is in regards to her, she can sell her own name. And in fact, next to, out of the DC extended universe movies, Wonder Woman had probably the best movie. Her Aquaman and Shazam, they have the best ones that lead you back into the whole Justice League DC extended universe. So she could do it, but my thing is like, if you're complaining that that movie exists because it leads back to a male genre, if that movie did not exist, then you would complain that it doesn't exist until somebody made it.
That's true.
So it's like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
I mean, yeah, you're right about that because people still want a Black Widow movie. It's like they feel like Scarlett Johansson should get a movie.
But like, look how right, and it is coming, but like, look how long it took, to get that, because Black Widow was supposed to be just a helper with the Avengers. She's supposed to just push those movies and featuring cameos. The same thing with Hawkeye. Hawkeye wasn't supposed to get his own thing either. So it's like, but some people would look at it as, oh, well, they're not trying to make a movie based on Black Widow. She's a chick, blah blah blah. Well, they weren't trying to do that with Hawkeye either, or the Hulk. Like they're done making Hulk movies. He's not getting a solo movie after the Edward Norton thing. He's done. They're not planning on doing anything else with him. So it's like, I'm really trying to see. My argument is the fact of like what she said about men tearing stuff down is true, but in regards to her film, I don't think that was the case. Because you have you have men and women who tear stuff down just because they're not interested. Prime example, I am an associate with someone who does not play video games if there's no leading female protagonist. Like, she truly believes if there's no female protagonist leading these games, then she ain't gonna play them. It's gonna be a bad game. That's crazy to me. Like, you're missing out on so many good games because you're limiting yourself in a box. And it's the same thing for dudes too. I ain't discriminating. Like, if you really think that a man should be the sole leading role of anything, and that makes it automatically good, then you're absolutely wrong. But I just think that Elizabeth Banks, girl, you got to realize that like the movie did not do so well. But she also came out public the other day in this other article I read, and she said that she's very adamant in believing that people who saw it at the box office, they loved it when they saw it, and she's saying that she's proud of her movie and what she did. Okay, fine. If you're happy with your product, then you go ahead and do that. But next time, when you're doing something like Charlie's Angels and people want to see that, you got to come out big. You got to do something to make people want to see it. The trailer makes you supposed to want to go see the movie. Like, I remember sitting in the theater, me and Xavier, we saw this and we looked at each other and was like, that looked kind of corny. Like, and that's just what it is.
Sorry.
That was actually gonna be my next question. Does the trailer make you want to see the movie if you saw the trailer?
No, because got it.
Wait, are you talking about
Kristen Stewart makes me not want to see the movie.
Right. So you're talking about
Beyond Ugly Ass?
Yeah.
It is.
Just the trailer, because you remember X when we saw it in Maleficent, we looked at each other and we was like, ooh, kind of corny. Like, well, it's Charlie's Angels. Sure, we're interested, but like that cast or the way they put that trailer out there, it made us just go, oh, okay, they're making it.
Hey, can I ask a question? No. If you know like a certain actor is performing in said movie, does that just automatically turn you off from the movie? Because again, when I found out freaking Kristen Stewart was in this one, I was just like, okay, no, not gonna bother.
I can't say that. I don't really think so. A certain actor does not.
I just think she sucks as an actress. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's not that great. But my thing is like,
I'm like
when you
that
look
sometimes.
at one actor. Yeah, and but the thing is, the reason why I don't do that is because for example, I did not like Robert Pattinson because of Twilight. I thought he was just bad.
I didn't like Kristen Stewart because of Twilight.
Yeah, and it's like when I saw Robert Pattinson's other films outside of Twilight, like for example his Lighthouse film that he got with Willem Dafoe, that's a good movie. He can act. It's just that his soul was just, I don't know, sucked out of those movies, that he didn't want to be there anymore, and it really showed. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm glad I gave Robert Pattinson a chance. I've seen Kristen Stewart in 2 movies. I still don't like her, even with the whole Twilight thing. Like, she wasn't good in there to me. And I saw her in like Snow White and the Huntsman. I didn't like her in there too much. She just doesn't get me.
It's the same thing with
She
It's
just
just
doesn't grab my attention.
Right. Yeah, I
Her
understand that.
facial expression never changes. It's like there's no emotion behind anything she does.
did
She's
y'all
just so bland.
did y'all like Ben Affleck as
And her
Batman?
being a ginger doesn't help her case of being.
I like his Bruce Wayne.
Well,
Do you
my
like
thing
did y'all
about
like Ben Affleck when he was Batman? Because a lot of people didn't like it when he was first
well,
announced.
here's my thing about Ben Affleck's Batman. It was not Ben Affleck's fault. Zack Snyder does not understand Batman, hands
He don't
down.
understand
If
none of
Zack Snyder
those.
knew
He don't
that,
understand comic books in
no,
general, but you leave
he
it to
does
them
not.
DC
But
fans.
if he understood even a core of what Batman was, he would have realized that Ben Affleck was honestly the best choice after what we had. Because Ben Affleck he fits the mold. He looks like exactly how older Bruce Wayne should look. He's got the physique, he's got the acting, and he's got the skills to back it up. But unfortunately, Ben Affleck just has a bad timing or whatever of getting picked by the wrong director. Because him as Batman, if you look at how he moved, how he looked in the suit, all that fighting style was extremely accurate. The fighting and the way he looked and how he moved was actually better than Christian Bale. But because Christian Bale had a fantastic director like Christopher Nolan to make the entire movie just better, from those snippets that we got from Batman, it was a disappointment because of Zack Snyder. Ben Affleck, I think he did all right for what he could work with. And they made a lot of changes to Batman that Ben Affleck carried out. For example, the Bat modulator voice. When have you ever seen in a Batman movie Bruce using an automated system in his cowl to change his voice?
And
I
it
think
makes
that makes
sense.
sense.
Hmm.
It makes sense. Like Christian Bale is, where's the trigger? Where is it? Where is it? You know, like that hurts.
Where's
Like
the
no,
trigger?
yeah, like
Where is it?
that hurts. Them doing that with Ben Affleck, I thought it was a good idea, but Zack Snyder, he does not understand how those movies work. He doesn't know those characters. I don't think it was Ben Affleck's fault, just Zack Snyder.
Any last words before we move on to the next topic?
I support mostly of what my girl is saying about her movies. If people went out to see her movie, it wouldn't have flunked. I think she just needed more commercials, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I mean, I say commercials,
Possible.
more trailers.
Mm-hmm, yeah, more
Definitely,
ads.
definitely more promotion.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Mark, thank you for answering my question about Chris before I even asked it. I was about to ask what's wrong with Kristen Stewart because I didn't understand because a lot of people was like that. They saw Kristen Stewart and go, "I'm not going to see it." And so, thank
Yeah,
you for answering my question on that.
she doesn't have a
That's
great
how I feel
background.
about
That's all.
Tiffany Haddish.
Same. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Same. I agree. Tiffany Haddish. You know what? Next topic.
Yes, because I will go in and roast her to the ground.
She blows me. Go on.
Hey, on another note, before we switch subjects, another movie that flopped was The Kitchen.
The what?
The Kitchen,
The
you know the
Kitchen?
Tiffany Haddish, yeah, the joint with Tiffany Haddish and the white girl, and they like mafia's wives or some shit like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that kind of bomb too.
That had Melissa McCarthy in it too, right?
Yeah, had Melissa McCarthy in it.
You're right. That shit
The
bombed
movie
like a motherfucker.
on Rotten Tomatoes, I think that joint got like a 20.
I don't listen to nobody's rating because you ain't gonna tell me shit till I see a movie.
Exactly.
Shit.
I mean,
No, that's
sometimes
true, but that's
them
real
tomatoes
low.
are accurate, like
Yeah.
Avatar.
I mean,
That last Airbender movie.
that's
Yeah,
true,
like
but
Garbage.
there are movies that I like that people are like, I didn't like it. Like the first Snow White and the
of
Huntsman.
course.
Like
I like that.
a lot of people didn't like that one. I'm sitting here like, well, I don't care about your opinion.
Yeah,
I
I
liked
was
it.
fine with that movie. I just didn't like Christian Stewart per se. But I'm like,
Well,
oh,
you know
okay.
who my girl is. That's who I
Yeah,
came for.
exactly. Yeah,
A lot of movies
she
are
was
like
banging in
that.
that movie.
There's a lot of movies that bomb in the movie
And it's like,
theaters and become cult classics.
yeah, like the thing about ratings, they don't influence my opinion on the movie. They give me an insight on, damn, it was that bad. Okay, like, whoa, the score is
Yeah,
that
because
low.
I have
Really,
a friend.
I want to know
I
what
have a
happened.
friend that will look up that kind of stuff. It says this movie was this. I don't know.
But
I'm like,
you know, there have been times when I've seen like bad ratings in movies, and then I would see the movie itself just to see, damn, what are they talking about? How bad is it? And then
Right.
I end up loving the movie. I mean, they did that with Dave Chappelle's stand up, so sometimes you really can't trust it. But
Mm,
on to the next topic.
yeah,
I want to talk about before we get on
he
to it. I do want
he
to talk
ain't that
about the
motherfucking funny.
I do want to I do want to talk about the fight that happened in Largo High School, the school that
Uh,
me and my boy Philip here went to,
mm,
and it involved the teacher and the
Logo
student.
Lain, while at school.
Huh?
School wild as shit.
Okay, so now you know where we're getting at. The teacher and the student fought, and the teacher got fired. I know she got arrested.
She
I think
got
she got fired too.
no, she got arrested for 3 days. I don't know about fired.
I have questions about that because I didn't get to hear the full story behind that incident.
well, they said throughout the year so
So
far, she's been not I think not assaulted, but like students
Mhm.
have put their hands on her like 3 times before,
mm,
Oh,
and
okay.
so
so
Yeah,
the main story, I think she was a Spanish teacher. And the chick failed, but wanted her grade change, and the teacher was like, "No, you can bring a parent. We can talk about it." And on the video, it looked like the teacher just swung on her, but as more people were speaking, she like stepped on her foot and bumped into her as she was walking out, and the teacher lost it. Now, here's my thing. Like you said, I graduated from Lago in '07, and ever since I've been there, since ninth grade, that school's been. There's been ninth grade. We had people setting fires in the hallway, people jumping people regardless. We had teachers attack since I've been there every year. We had a teacher smack where we heard a teacher smack the student, but come found out the student smacked her first and they saw it on camera. They were trying to get the student. We had a teacher
So
by the name of Sabor. Big burly husky dude. I don't know why people tried him. He
shout out
wasn't
to
to
my
be
man,
played with.
Mr. Boy.
No, so even before I knew or saw what he looked like, there was a story going around. Some kid got in his face, said, "I'd knock the fuck out of you." He was like, "Oh, really? Get the fuck out of my classroom." He
I
had
was
double
there for
doors
that.
on his classroom. They said he
What?
opened the door and literally threw son out, and nothing happened to him.
I was actually there for that, and he didn't throw him out. The kid walked out, but
Uh,
one of the kids was like, "Hey, you want me to take care of him?" And he was like, "Nah, nah, nah, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that." I was
okay.
actually there for that. I know what you were talking about. So go ahead.
One year, I think she was Asian. I could be wrong, but regardless, a female teacher was attacked by a student when she told the student to get out of the classroom. So people saying that the new generation is disrespectful, that was no. Students have always been disrespectful, especially at that school. Largo's always been a wild school to go to.
yeah, I always heard stories about Largo.
I was
We
at,
had teachers embezzling money there. My 12th grade year.
I was about to say
Well,
the same thing. I was about to say the same thing Phil said. For those who have went to the school, like me and Phil, like I've seen a lot of shit. First off, it's if anybody knows, it's two different.
mm-mm.
Who
Yo,
is
that
that?
background noise. Whose background noise is that?
Ryan,
It's,
you washing dishes.
That
it's
is not
Dion.
me.
I muted him. It was
I was
Dion.
about to. Say,
I
oh.
muted him.
All right. Anybody knows that been around Largo is two people that go to Largo and people that go to Forestville. All right, and them two don't really like each other no much because them niggas always fight. There's like two. Largo's really small school. It's a really small fucking school.
Yeah.
So a lot of people bump into each other a lot, and there's a lot of fights.
Oh, yeah, I was in
And
school.
yeah, and like Philip said, students they do not care about. They will go smack at teachers. I've seen a bunch of kids fight teachers in there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's funny you say that because the video I saw the kid bum rush the teacher, and then that's what made her started swinging. So I didn't feel bad for the kid. First off, I had to figure out who was who. When I
Yeah.
realized the little one was the teacher, I was like, oh, I kind of understand that. But yeah, them kids will try you in Largo, and I've seen it all the
Mm-hmm.
The
time.
little one
And
was the teacher.
the little one was the
Yeah.
teacher, and which is funny because when they like backed up off her and the big one grabbed her and like swooped her on that desk, I thought it was over for her. But other than that, yeah, them log, people in log, you ever realize high school kids ain't small. High school kids are
Anymore.
not
Yeah, for
small. Some
real.
of them
We
are
had
big.
a
So
Exactly. Right. Anymore. Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
and she's
not
17.
no.
These
Even when we was
kids,
there, we had a girl. We had a girl that was like 6'7", 6'4". There was only one
All
dude
right,
taller than
now
her, but
I
this was
ain't
always
talking
big.
like that. That's different.
No, she
I'm
was
just
I'm
big as
saying,
big.
kids.
no,
I'm
she was
talking
big
about
as
these
hell though.
big. I'm talking about normal size chicks. They got these big bodies. They
Nigga,
walk
define
around
normal.
Oh,
here with these big
Let's start with
bodies,
that. Define
big,
normal.
big, big back, big shoulder, big thighs.
that was
That's what I'm
She
talking
was
built
a
about.
like a
big
Like
Mack
girl.
truck.
all these
Mhm.
girls be thick. I ain't talking about height. No, that's of course she big. She needs to sit her ass
my
down. But
man
no, I'm
said.
talking
I ain't
about
talking about height. I'm
these
talking about
regular
width.
sized girls that be big as hell. I'm
She
like,
be like
dang,
5'2" and 300 pounds. Going.
you 15 years old and you got a double D,
Nah, they
girl.
they looking more grown now, man. It's crazy out here,
No,
man.
girls always. I mean, it's
Mhm.
the grown thing always happened in all schools. I don't care what no one said. Our
Yeah,
All right,
parents
I
try to
agree with
play.
that.
I'm like, no, that's always happened. But I
all
don't
right.
feel bad for the girl at all. She deserved what she got because she knew exactly what she was doing. Tried to sit there and bump her because she was mad, and she was not
Mhm.
expecting that teacher to pop off on her like that.
Matter of fact, I
Especially,
had somebody try to threaten to do some boy one time. They were over there messing with one of the special need kids, and some boy went off on them. And one of them, as they were leaving the classroom, as they were leaving the classroom, they told him, "I'll put a hot one in you." Like for some reason, they thought he was soft, but the man grew up. The man grew up in like some rough areas, and some of the stories he tells, like seeing people get shot. Who is that? The mic. Yeah, it's wild.
mm.
Okay. Mark, what you think about the situation?
Talk shit, get hit. The end.
So, let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all feel that everybody is mostly was taking? Because it seemed like when the story started out, everybody was mostly taking the kid side instead of the student. Because everybody was like, it is unacceptable that a teacher would put his hands on a student like that. How do y'all feel that people was taking her side more than the kid? I mean, more than the student, a teacher. Excuse me.
Well, they're gonna take her side because she's a minor.
I
Mm.
don't know why.
So they're
I
like,
wouldn't
oh, by
consider
default because
17
she's a
as a minor.
minor.
I know it's not an adult, but at the same time, I think you understand what you was doing.
You're right.
Yeah.
How old is
You're of
15 really?
age. You're of age definitely to be
You know
knowledgeable,
what you're
right and
doing
wrong.
at any age. You know what you're doing. Are you supposed to be hitting a teacher? Are you supposed to be
Hmm.
bumping a teacher?
Mm.
No.
Right.
Sit your ass
Exactly.
down and close your mouth. That's what you're supposed to do in the
I say they were
classroom.
both wrong.
Shit. I can only imagine. No, you know what? I honestly, because these teachers be going through so much. These students cussing them out, be stepping in their face, be doing all
They
this
don't
stuff.
get paid
That's
enough to
why
go through
I
that,
could
to be
never be
honest
a
with you.
teacher because I'd be in
No,
jail.
me neither.
Because I would take
They don't get
my
paid
hole
enough to do it.
puncher and I'm clocking you upside your head. Okay, I'm smashing your head against the fucking desk. I'm doing something because these damn students are
Mm.
so disrespectful.
Yeah,
Yes.
they be
Mm.
trying you, and they
Especially if you're
wonder
at a damn
why you don't
school
want to teach.
where the home situations ain't right.
Yeah,
And I think you know what I
Mm.
mean.
and you
You know
already know
what?
that if
The
He
you're
talking about the
teacher,
hood schools.
Shit.
the teacher we talking about came from a DC school, and once he got to Maryland, he said he never going back to one because it was 10 times worse there.
We said the Maryland one was worse than DC one.
I mean,
No,
No, the
DC was worse.
DC one.
Oh,
The DC one was worse, and he never go. He was like, cause he one time he told us, he was like, y'all still raise your hands to go to the bathroom. At Spingar or something, I had 3 Bama's just walked out like, fuck you gonna do? Hi, whatever. Just walk out.
Walk
mm,
out.
Yeah, I mean, like
Just walk out. Don't even
now,
raise a hand. Like,
I could deal with the hand thing. At my school, it was ridiculous. We had to fill out a slip to go to the bathroom. And we only had 4 throughout the month,
what?
and I'm like, come on now,
Full bathroom
yeah,
breaks?
yeah. You had to fill out a pass, and you had to use these passes. We only had 4, and they were 4 a month to go to the
Where did you
bathroom.
go?
And I
You
told
went
my
to a
teacher,
DC school, right?
yeah, I went to the school right across the street from the College Station, Thurgood Marshall. Like, but the thing was that I walked out because I have to use the bathroom more than 4 times a month.
Mm.
So, and I have a weak bladder. I gotta go. So either I pee on your floor or you let me out.
Right.
Hey,
I mean,
that
you
was
have
a
I've
no,
been
fucking threat
peeing.
back in the day. That was
yeah,
a
like
threat.
you
It's
have
like, if
no
you don't let me go to
choice.
the bathroom, I will sit on this corner and pee. Try me.
Yeah, like I don't give a damn. I have more uniform pants at home. I'll just piss. I don't give a damn.
Now, but let me tell y'all
Shit.
something real quick. I know that shit isn't an issue in Africa because in Africa, especially in Ghana, they'll whoop your ass if you get out of line. Like they'll have switches and shit. Like, no, my mom told me a story about when she was in school and there was a dude in there that was trying to hit on a girl, but the girl didn't want it. Teacher whooped his motherfucking ass because it turns out that the girl was actually his niece. So he got his ass whooped. And then when he went back home, he got his ass whooped by his parents too. So they don't tolerate
Mm.
that shit. That's why, like, when when I went to school and shit, like I never really talked back to my teachers and shit because I was thoroughly warned by my mom. If the teacher calls you being disrespectful, I'm gonna beat your ass. And she said it in her language too. So I made sure I was always respectful. But like I'm seeing
Oh
kids
yeah,
cussing
you
at
ain't do
teachers,
nothing.
talking like, man, fuck you. I don't want to do this shit. Like all that dumb shit. Like, God damn. Hey man, it's like Mark said, talk shit, get hit.
Yeah, you get hit, bro. Like,
And then you want to get upset when the teacher lash out on your kid for being a fucking dumbass. All right, don't raise your
exactly.
kid better, nigga.
I think
I'm telling you,
I think
them teachers do not
this
get
show
paid enough to deal with that, yo. I'm telling you.
I think it showed a lot of hypocrisy towards the parents because the parents was like, I can understand the kid being bad, but if it was my kid, I'd have done something. And I'm thinking, well, if you know your kid is that bad, then you would be more sympathetic to the teachers. Cause like I don't know who said it, but yeah, them teachers go through a lot. And like sometimes you gotta deal with like what, 30 kids to a class and all that other shit. And
And you
I
I
Mm.
mean,
want to
remember
public
say,
schools is worse because they dump all the kids from the city in there in public schools, so the teachers are
yeah,
not prepared to deal with the amount of students that need teaching, and they already have trouble at home, so they're bringing that into the institution, so it's making
Yeah.
things worse.
You know what? I listened to a dude this podcast. And the guy said he went to a school to do his thing, which is like public speaking and consulting. And he said one kid tried to leave. Like what? He was given a female administrator problems at first, like straight up disrespectful. Then he tried to leave, so him and a bunch of other guys like stopped and stepped in his way. But when he sat down and actually talked to the kid and realized the kid and got neither one of his parents in his life being raised by his grandma, the boy kind of broke down. And they don't always get that. People always just classify him as out of reach before even trying to help him.
I mean, I
Mm.
understand
yeah,
that, but at the same time, if that
Yeah,
was the case, then those professionals could recognize that and do that job.
I brought on.
guidance
No,
counselors
did you?
be shit.
Did
Let me not say that. Phil, who's the male guidance counselor there? He was actually pretty cool. He
I
was
don't
like,
know.
but
I
he was
remember.
on. You don't remember him?
The only people I remember, only teachers I remember, just because they had unique personalities, was Sabul, Mr. Armwood, and Miss Pelham. Because we had
That's
her.
it. That was it. Mr. Armwood. Mr. Armwood was a guidance.
He was a teacher at first. I think.
He
I
was a
don't think
teacher
he.
at first, and then they made him a guidance counselor because I think someone left. But he was cool too. He was old, but he ain't take no shit either. So also Mr. Sabor. Uh,
I heard
I
Mr.
would say this.
Crawford
Shout
was
out
the
to
man too, but I never had him.
I never had Crawford. But Mrs. Zabor, I would say shout outs to him because a lot of dudes, and there's
A
a
lot of
lot of
people.
dudes that like took tech systems, and people fuck with his class because he was actually real with you. He'll tell
Hmm.
you like he'll like keep it real with you. He's not really one of them fake teachers that just try to dare for a pay grade. He will actually like tell you if your shit is bad, or he'll give you life lessons and all that other stuff. Because like if you ever been in a tech system class, he gives you actually real world shit and talking
Hmm.
about. And like this is a reason why people kind of like stayed in that class, even if you wasn't even in that class. He would kind of, as long as you didn't bug nobody, he'll take you in. Because like I said, most of them kids was bad. They ain't really stay in the classroom.
There were people telling me I only come to school because of some boy. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and you kind of like need teachers like him. And so
Yeah.
when the whole thing, when someone said they was gonna they was gonna threaten some boy and all that other shit, trust me, like if he really would, he'd have had somebody like really beat his ass because there was people that would have
Oh
like,
no, he was as he was mad because I think it was at the end of the school year. He let people come in there, but that thing happened, so he kicked everybody out that wasn't in the class. He's like, you know what? If you don't belong here, get out. Then he was up there mad, going off like he put a hot one at me. I go get a crackhead, give him a rock and $2. He be waiting for you.
What?
yeah, my
Rocket
man was
$2?
official like that, and you fuck with him. I that's what I liked about it. He was real. He
Mhm.
was really really cool.
He grew up.
Any last
Well,
words? Go ahead, Phil.
I just like to get more about Boy. He just grew up in like places like Berry Farms, and he goes from like Berry Farms to Capitol Heights. And I think he tell us the story like his first time living there. They found somebody the day they moved in the backyard dead. He he showed us a drawing that he had nightmares until he drew it out. He was outside playing one time. He said a dude literally like in the picture, dude got out, shot a dude in the head, and he had nightmares until he drew it. That man went through a lot, but he was also smart. My man had a 3.0 in high school, got in fights, but never got in trouble just because he was smart about everything. He didn't grow up. It was a lot of stuff. He didn't grow up easy. Spoke on like the reason why he was really mad that day about them messing with that kid because he had a little brother that died that was special needs that died real young, and he didn't like the toll on his mother. So it was a lot about him or why he didn't play. For some reason, I think because he was a teacher, people took him lightly. But even he was a teacher, he was a big ass guy. He was like freaking six
He was
four.
like 6'2".
Yeah,
He's 6'2". He was 6'2", 6'4". He
so he's
wasn't no
about
small dude.
he, he was tall and big, like big guy.
Okay.
But
Any last words on this before we get into the next topic?
Nope.
Respect your motherfucking
mm,
elders.
Hey, my son. I know I'm not older than y'all. My son go to Duval. He's in 11th grade, and when I go to his school, I
Hmm?
talk to a counselor. Yeah, because
wait,
I'm
how
like,
old are
oh,
you?
I'm almost 40.
Hmm?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my son.
Wait, huh?
So my son, he go to Duval, so I went to his school, and the counselor was telling me like a lot of the parents don't care. They don't have the communication with the teachers. They usually just want the school to raise they child, and that's why a lot of problems come in when a lot of kids act out where they even know either their parents not there or their parents don't want to know or show up and know what's going on. That's my opinion. Another opinion is that it's surprisingly that they didn't charge the girl that hit the teacher. They just
They
charged
were
the
thinking about it.
they yeah, I know, but they should charge the student because like you said, and what I found out too is that she got hit a few times before the school year, during that time during the school year. So that's my opinions on it.
I think the reason why they didn't want to charge her because she was a minor, and so they played they gave her the minor card. But like I always say, they try out black people, so
Man, they
they
they could
she
They could definitely charge a minor. They just give her minor charges as and take her to a court to deal with juvenile. Take her to juvenile court where she would have to do stuff there, but they ain't do nothing at all with her.
You're right about that. All right,
Y'all,
on to
y'all.
the next
Oh,
topic. Oh,
well, before
go
y'all
ahead,
do
Tony. Go
that,
ahead, Tony.
y'all seen both videos?
Yeah.
Oh yes, all right,
No,
bet.
I only saw one.
It's two. It's one that's real close, that's behind the desk, and the girl moves up, and the one is the original one.
Yeah.
If y'all do, just let me know. I'll send it to Jameson. He'll send it to y'all.
Okay.
All right. On to the next topic. First off, thank y'all for this one because Largo is like really is. I really love Largo, even though that's a ghetto ass school. As ghetto as it is, I really love Largo.
It's always the ghetto schools that got charmed.
Right. But on to the next topic because
I
I
don't think
really
Largo
want to
got
talk.
charmed, but okay.
On to the next topic, and this one I really want a lot of people's opinion on this, especially Xavier's, because
I
we're
already
gonna
know
be
what you're
talking
about
about
to
Flame
say.
Monroe. We're gonna be talking about Flame Monroe and basically she we Breast Fritz Club interview on there, and he done said a lot of things that I think most how can I say it? Most conservatives would agree with, but he's not really a conservative. But to cut to the chase, how do y'all feel about that interview? If y'all saw the interview,
That was a very
who
entertaining
want to
interview.
go first?
That was
It was very
He's a
entertaining.
he's a mess.
yeah, and that's what I like about it.
But no, I'm saying a mess in a negative way.
uh,
I can't
so
with that.
so first of all, the interview was very entertaining, and second of all, it's just like the what's the word I'm looking for? The perspective that he was coming with. Like I think at one point he was saying, yeah, I'm cross dressed and I'm transgender, but there's a real nigga under here. He's like, I'm a real nigga and a bad bitch in the same body or some shit like that. And I was like,
That's confusing.
first of all, that threw me off guard. And second of all, Charlamagne was confused as a motherfucker, as usual. That nigga's confused about everything. So like so he's over there explaining, how he feels about certain things and certain topics and shit. And I don't know. I felt like they was kind of undermining him the entire interview. Like he was saying shit, and like he was really trying to get his point across. But I just feel like Charlamagne and Envy, they was just like low key kind of undermining him. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll always like have a little joke, or like they'll have like some real, cheeky to say like after he got done explaining some shit. So it's kind of hard to take the interview seriously, but at the same time, that's what makes it so entertaining. So I'm like, did I really learn anything from this, or like is these niggas just niggas playing it?
It's funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing because they was really okay. Imagine how you think about that Malik Yoba interview because a lot of people was confused, a lot of people was for it, like. But I was with Flame Monroe. Like they never challenged it. I can understand you sitting there wanting to listen, but you never really questioned some of the stuff that you thought it was bullshit because you was just kind of silent. And with Flame, I feel like he was trying to, especially Charlamagne, he was trying to go joke for joke with him. Even though he says he's not a comedian, he'll probably go joke for joke with him. So it did feel like he was undermining him a little bit. So, but I will say this. He is his like I've heard of Flame Monroe since Comic View days. If anybody doesn't watch Comic View, he used to be a regular on Comic View, so I can understand his opinion is very boomer-ish, kind of. So but I also want people to know just because Flame Monroe thinks that, I mean everybody in the LGBT think that, or vice versa. They're not a monolith, just like how Father says men are not a fucking monolith. Yeah, it's sometimes you just got to go on an individual basis of how people feel about LGBT issues and all that stuff. Xavier, what do you think about it?
A lot of the stuff he was saying, like when it comes to his identification, was stupid. I'm confused. He sounded a mess. He's doing trickery. He's calling himself too many damn names, and I'm just confused. But what I want to respond to what the topic is when you said forcing acceptance.
Yeah, because he did mention
Because
that in the interview.
yes, because I just don't understand this whole thing of people saying you're forcing it down our throats. Okay, the same way that we want black rights and black stuff to be forced down people's throats because we're here and we're alive and we want roles, we want to be in, we want to be accepted as equal. It's the same shit like people who are gay, especially those who are gay men, okay? It's the same kind of conversation that we're having with everybody else. Because I posted a photo of a police officer pointing his gun at a black man, and then a black guy pointing his gun at us, and it says nigga, and one says faggot. That's the shit that we go through in the black community who are gay and open when it comes to the white and the black world. We're not accepted. We are accepted, but at the same time we're not. And until we're being brought out here in the same light and being accepted and being shown on TV like we're normal people, okay? Because the same thing was with black people, how they were trying to play like we're not people, we're monkeys, or we're just a show, we're just an act. That's the same shit that a lot of gay people felt like too, because you felt like, oh my god, like I'm not represented on TV. Like for me, for instance, I always knew I was gay. I always tell people that I knew I was gay since I was little, like 5 years old, 6 years old. I always knew I liked boys. You couldn't tell me anything. I thought it was
Hey,
nasty when people said, "Oh, your little girlfriend." I used to be mad when people used to say that. No, I don't. No girlfriend.
I kind of agree and disagree, and I believe that gay people have rights, but you gotta think about it. You are a judge for being black.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
You know what? Go ahead, finish the thought. I'm sorry.
Nah, I agree and I disagree, but you're a judge of what people know you are rather than what you look like. Like I'm already judged. We already judged by your color before how you talk and how you act, and you can't change that.
Okay, well, in the black community, what you have to say about the black men who's fucking with us because we're gay?
Oh, I'm not saying that's not a problem, but I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Because
It's for
people
us.
don't know you gay until you
Oh
dress
no,
a certain
trust
way or
me.
you talk
Oh,
a way.
trust me. They do. You see me, I ain't no straight person. When you see me, like let's keep
I'm
it
just,
straight right
I'm
now.
just, I know,
I
but
know
I
what
just
you're
said,
saying because
yeah,
I had this conversation before, but because we had this conversation about walking into a store and the guy sees me for my skin first and not my thing and not my sexuality.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
It can for me. It's both. Because as soon as you see me, you see my fur, you see my shoe, you see my bag. You're like, oh, okay, I got a faggot nigga up in here now. Oh no, they see both. Okay, and then when I go to a black establishment, I get the Negroes who looking at me like, oh, and they act like they don't want to help. It's the same thing. I mean,
No, but
I
sometimes you also get the looks of people who be looking and they be like, but then when they catch you looking, they like, oh, he's only
exactly.
looking.
Okay, but it's like I understand what people are saying when they say first is skin color, then it's sexuality. But for us, we don't know which one it is when it comes to certain things. For us, gay
Mhm.
black. Okay, I ain't talking
I
about no
mean, openly
Latino. I ain't talking about no
because
Asian. I ain't talking about no white. Okay, because I always tell people, I said straight black men be fucking with us just as bad as white men be fucking with black people and black men. I said some people don't understand what I mean when I say that. I said because I can get on the train, nobody will say a damn thing, but it'd be that those two young dudes on there who are black that gotta open their fucking mouth. They gotta say some comment. Okay, I be on the train, sitting down. It's an open space right here. All the black guys don't sit next to me, but who sits next to me? A white woman and a white man. Who sits next to me? Sometimes a black woman. Who sits next to me? An Asian man or an Asian woman. Who sits next to me? A Latina man or a Latino woman. It's like the black guys. It's like it's like they don't want to be mistaken for being known to me or something.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but the
because
That's
in the
thing
black
about it,
in the
but I
black
think about a lot of
community
them
is
a
very
lot of them are
common.
comfortable because they feel that even if you're gay, that I got to be gay too because I know you. And me and Jameson, we knew a
exactly.
lot of gay people on our shit when we was deployed. That doesn't made us gay. If you was cool regardless if you was gay or whatever, you was cool regardless. And a lot of people don't think like that.
They don't. They
Yeah, because
don't.
like
And
it's also
y'all have
very
to
popular,
be
especially in the black community, to be a homophobe because they're like, oh, I ain't with that gay shit. I ain't with that gay shit. I ain't with the gay shit. Especially in like the types of neighborhoods. Like I know for me personally, when I lived, you know what I'm saying, in Barry Farmers, a lot of niggas that always said that like they didn't like dudes, they wasn't with it, they wasn't with it. Come to find out, a lot of these dudes were down low.
Super down.
You know what I'm saying? But they put on that persona like, oh man, for real, I ain't with that gay shit. Get that out of here, blah blah blah. But yeah, you fucking with dude who live in the, you know what I'm saying, who live up the street, like his house is by the alley. So what are you
You
talking
know
about?
what, Mike? You
yeah.
reminded me of a story. My sister, one of her ex at the time, whoever she was dating at the time, the dude told me he had a best friend that would run that, or his manager. They ran in the streets together, right? And one day he go home and the dude coming out of his house. The dude never been to his house, and the only person in the house was his gay brother.
Uh-oh.
Yikes. Big fucking
I'm
yikes.
cracking up at the person talking about some.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the reason why we're asking for acceptance and to be shown and stop acting like we're a fucking plague. Because
Yeah.
it's plenty of people in this chat right now who didn't like gay people like that at all until they met me and met a big mouth and knew that you ain't gonna be talking no crazy gay shit around me and I'm gonna make you accept me because I'm into anime and I'm into video games as well. And don't let the fucking fur fool you because I can't fight as well. And I've changed people's perception. It's always been like that. And I'm
Hey,
not even trying to talk like as if everybody's is afraid of me, but it's like once you meet me, you start saying like, "Oh, you know what? Gay people are not as bad. They're not." I'm like, "They're not." Stop
I'm
fucking playing with
I'm gonna
us.
say I did because I said it on the podcast before. Until I worked at Six Flags and my manager was gay, I was really homophobic.
Yeah.
Until I worked with my manager and realized, oh, he's just a cool person. I don't know. And thinking about where the idea come from, why did I hate him in the first place? Because it's something I was kind of bred to be.
hold
Oh,
up.
nah, them niggas, yeah.
But
Like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
you see me
shit,
around
you
them.
raise your
Dion
hand
raised
in
his
this
hand.
joint?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
I'm
something
about
to
to
Nah,
say.
I
say?
had a question.
Oh wow,
You raise, yeah, that's what I say. You raise your hand. Go ahead, Dion.
that's crazy.
Did he mute
Yeah.
himself? Oh, finish your point.
My
Philip.
bad. My bad. My bad. I hit this button by mistake. My bad. But I was saying the question I had was this: the whole thing that the black community seems to have against homosexuals. I've always wondered where the hell did that even originate from?
Me too.
Uh,
Religion.
can I answer this? Can I answer this?
Go ahead.
It's your show.
Boy.
Okay, because first things, I'm sorry, but first things first, and I say this all the time: white people is just as prejudiced as or as, what's the homophobic. White people is just as homophobic as black people,
Oh
maybe
If
even
yes.
more.
anything, they're
And
worse. No, they're worse. They're much worse.
anything, if any, yes, they're a lot worse. The Latin community do it, the Asian community, and y'all know. Even there are some countries where they kill you for being
Yeah, I
gay.
think the
Oh, I
Spanish
All right,
know.
community is
It,
all
it,
Hello,
black
I
it's
people.
know.
The problem with black
I'm
people,
Jamaican and
the
it,
the
Trinidadian.
problem with black people, yeah, the problem with black people I have is that we are out there with it. Like our homophobe, we for some reason a lot of black people wear their
Yes.
homophobic shit like a
Yes.
sense of pride. And I'm not gonna lie,
Yes.
until I got to high school, I never realized that until I got to high school when niggas like, man, stop all that faggot shit. Now, it's never said to me, but I've heard
Yes.
people say it. Yes, a lot of black, for some reason, you do wear your homophobic shit like a badge of honor. Like, why?
that's
Because
so
why?
crazy.
I never
that's
understood
not
this why.
cool.
Yeah,
Because
I like I've never been like that. I've always been cool with gay people. I never cared. It never crossed my mind.
See,
Like
That's so strange.
it never crossed my mind either. And the whole thing about forcing acceptance, I always count this as bullshit. Now, this is my personal experience. I have a gay cousin that's now a drag queen. Growing up, he used to babysit me. No, I had no problems with him. I knew about RuPaul and I knew about Flame Monroe, which were drag queens and all the other shit. I accidentally watched the gay porn when I was like 9 on HBO, and even though I changed the shit quickly, it never influenced me to like other men. So the whole forcing acceptance shit. First things first. Kids are like Xavier been saying. Kids are smarter than you fucking think. Like just because you see something gay on TV does not mean that that's going to influence you to become gay. Because I've been seeing gay shit since the '90s, and me and Wallace the main ones to saying '90s gay will fuck you up.
That's
and all
right.
that other stuff.
Hey, so
And we're in DC, and DC, and there's a documentary that was sponsored by Louis C.K. There's about a gay gang in DC that
to check it.
Thank you.
You better respect it.
Thank you, because I keep forgetting their names, but it's a good document. But it is a good documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
and I used to roll
in
with
DC,
them in the Go-Go's.
See, and there's some cool people in the check-ins.
No.
Mm-mm. No.
I will say. I will say.
I'm from New York. I wouldn't know nothing about no gay gang shit.
They are very too much.
Yeah,
they are very too much and be doing too much, and they start a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to say like
they used to start a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was
on this
the people I've met before.
Yeah, and this on this documentary, they try to play victim on this documentary. I'm like, yeah, because we used to be it'll be after the Brian Manor be fighting, and then they the ones just targeting boys. Like at that point, like they just taking hammers and stuff and cockroach spray and spraying and hitting heads and all the other stuff. But
cockroach spray, damn.
Okay, got it.
They was out here on some 1960 shit. They were beating people.
Yes, but
that shit was no
I used to
joke.
tell people all the time. I'm like, I'm not trying to force nothing. Okay, I ain't forcing nothing. Just like I have to sit in a movie and watch this bitch and her fucking titties and you licking her twat. Okay, that ain't making me want no fucking woman. Ew, I want to throw up. That ain't making me change nothing at all. I said, but one little kiss from a man, from two men, and now all of a sudden your whole day is ruined. Like, calm down. What it is that you fucking liked it, and you wish you can kiss a man your damn self. That's what the fuck it really is. Like, calm down.
And that's where I was going. That's where I was going with. The only people that really care is the people that's probably into men on the down low.
Because I understand why you're so goddamn outraged.
I've seen that happen.
So as far as acceptance, what do you think as far as what age do you think that somebody under 18 should get a sex change?
Hell no.
I always feel like they should wait till they're 18.
Well, okay.
I said that too. I
always said that because
when
like
you're 18, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
They say a lot of them, and it's been documented, that a lot of them end up changing their minds as they turn like 13, as they turn 14, and they start regretting or they start saying, oh, actually, I think I'm fine the way I am. And I don't want to call it a phase because I'm starting to feel like this whole trans thing is not even really what real trans are now. They're just wanting to be women, and they're just wanting to be men. Because quite frankly, if we're being honest, y'all, a lot of us been around trans all of our lives, all them dykes. Because all them dykes I know walking right here, plastering their breasts down, walking like men, got waves.
Referring to themselves as men.
Yes. I said, and half y'all niggas ain't had no problem with that. But all I'm doing is wearing my colorful Nike Dunks and an Ed Hardy t-shirt, and all of a sudden now I'm the faggotiest faggot of the fags, and I got issues.
Even though
like, damn,
okay,
you got
what
this
I'm about to say might sound fucked up.
Damn man.
Mhm.
Hold on, hold on.
Uh,
Let him finish, Dion. Let him finish, Dion.
Yeah.
Let him finish,
No,
Dion.
no, 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 no. I'm done. I want to hear what Dion got to say though.
Okay, now what I'm
Okay.
about to say might sound fucked up. I'm friends with a few lesbians. I try not to use the word dyke. It sounds like an insult to
I know,
me
right? It
when
do
you call
sound
a
like
woman a
that.
dyke.
Uh-huh.
But even though I'm cool with someone, when I hear them refer to themselves in like a masculine manner, I laugh. I laugh my ass off. Because at the end of the
Fuck
day,
around, get
you
your
still
boy
got a
pregnant.
vagina and you still got titties under there. Why are you talking about yourself like you was a dude?
Hold on.
Yes.
Yo, hold on. I got.
Especially New York, in Brooklyn.
Oh,
I'm
don't
telling
get
you,
me
some of them
started on
doms.
this.
Okay, some of them doms in Brooklyn, like young Ma, they really think they are men to the point where some of them be talking about these faggots. What? Bitch, you're a dyke ass.
Hold
What are you
up.
talking about?
I'm sorry if
You're a
you gotta.
dyke.
I'm sorry if you gotta. I'm sorry if you about to get it on with somebody. You gotta go pull your dick out your damn bottom drawer. You not a
Okay.
man. Sit down.
Yeah,
Like
Okay.
my thing is this: like, wait till 18. You, I don't care what age it is. You're not going to use my money to do that. So, if you're a child of mine and you want to go change your
No, don't
gender,
say that.
your mother and
No,
I
don't
will
say
not
that.
help you do that.
You
Go
don't
ahead
know
and
that
do it
because you don't have a
yourself.
child. I promise you. When people have children,
man,
it's you really change.
I get what you mean, and when I
it's
have a
I
child, I
promise
will
you,
let
you
hold on,
you
hold
really
up.
know.
do.
No, whether or not you have a child
Uh,
has nothing to do with it. Do you know how much surgery in general costs? Let alone those type of
I know. That's why I
procedures.
said no.
Yeah,
I know.
but you
That's why I
don't.
said you won't be
Y'all don't
using my
know
money.
y'all don't know y'all financial status when that time might come.
I know it ain't
If
gonna
y'all
be
over
enough
here,
to afford that shit.
if y'all have $50 million in y'all bank account, y'all better pay for that shit.
Wow.
all right.
Shit.
Father had his
Dion too
hands
stupid to
raised.
get any better money.
Oh
All
shit.
right. Father had his hand raised. You was gonna say something, Father? Father.
All right, I have two things to say. First off, I remember the
Random
very
shit.
first time. I remember the very first time Xavier referred to vagina as fish, and I fucking lost my
No,
shit.
it's a little
That was the
button.
funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And second of all, what you said was very true about how people overreact when it's like two men kissing or two women kissing. Because
Yes. I'm
like,
like, calm down.
because like my culture where I come from, that shit is like taboo. So like
Ugh.
when that shit is like mentioned and shit, it's all hush hush and people don't want to talk about it. And the reason why I said it's religion is because when our people got colonized, like the Bible was pushed on us like heavy, like it was damn near forced onto us. So when we assimilated into
Oh, it's no
Christianity,
damn near. It was forced onto us.
yeah,
It's no damn near.
so when Christianity was pushed on us, it was just like, bro, gay is evil. You're going to hell. It's one of the most evilest things you could ever do. Man, okay, you can do adultery here and there, but being gay, absolutely for motherfucking not. So then,
Can I
Okay.
can I can I add to what you were just saying though?
real quick, go ahead.
As hard as Christianity was forced on everybody, and you know, homosexuality was looked down upon and everything else. If you actually know your history and you look back on that shit, there's
Mm.
cultures where that was
Okay.
every day.
Talk
That's
about
what
it.
niggas did.
Talk
Oh,
about
bro,
it.
Can we talk about the
bro,
motherfucking
there
Romans
are
real quick?
Talk about
literal,
it.
there are
In
literal,
Yeah,
Egypt,
right.
there are
Romans,
literal
Greece.
documents
Come on
in
now.
Africa and
Exactly. Do you know
drawings in
how
Riddle of the
Christmas
Africa
family.
started?
of
What they
homo.
would do?
There was a homosexual king in
Oh,
Africa that used to be an indentured servant. Then he became king, and he had like husbands. Like this is documented shit. Like
They said the same thing about the trans. They said that that's why the pharaohs used to dress like they dressed.
yeah,
It's so
so
many things. Like I don't know how true that could be, but they're showing you photos of all that stuff and like old artifacts that they dug up, and it's just it's really interesting. And it's like,
yeah.
hmm,
But the but the
You know how
the
many
tough part
female
is,
rulers from certain kingdoms had same sex lovers? Like, come on.
but the thing about all of that is like when we're coming up, we're not taught that. When I was coming up, it was just Bible all day. That's the shit. Like that's why when the gay conversation started, becoming hotter and hotter as the times went on. I'm thinking like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I ain't never really had no experiences like that. I would say that I was effectively cut off from all that until like 2011 or 12, until I started seeing it like heavy. So even then, it was like tough to wrap my head around because with like you in an African ass household with the Bible pushed on you like almost damn near every day, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. But as I got older and gained understanding, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's real, and this is what the fuck was pushed on me as a child, as me coming up. So when you separate that and you actually do the work, you realize, man, okay, shit. Like I remember, there was having that little law, or whatever, the Equality Act or whatever, that was going to stop, trans people and homosexual people from being kicked out of their houses for being gay, for being fired because they're trans or they go whatever. I'm like, man, just give it to them. Like, what the fuck is that going? How the fuck is that going to harm us? Like, shit, just give it to them, and shit like that. So when people stop, living in their little bubbles or whatever, and actually take in factual information that cannot be refuted, then we'll get to a better place. Because right now, all I'm hearing, the people that are against it, like most of it's nigga babble. Most of it is just, I want to shut the fuck up. It's a you day, you know what I'm
And
saying?
then
Like,
the bottom line is all these people want is just not be attacked and criticized for who they are and what they're into. That's all the
yeah,
fuck they
That's all
want.
I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I'm
You want
asking
to say
for
something?
when I'm walking down the damn street, you mind your damn business like them whites and them Asians be minding their damn business when they see me at
exactly.
least. At least when they
You
see
want to say
me.
something, Phil?
Oh, I had a question for Xavier because we didn't get to talk about it the last podcast that he missed out on. It was about the Darren Young guy,
The
superstar,
who?
Daddy superstar.
The
Darren
who?
Young, the two
Black
black gay
wrestler,
men.
the black gay wrestler that don't date other black gays.
Oh, that was disappointing to hear. That was just because when you're black yourself and you see other black men who come out the closet and you're just like, oh my god, I've always had a crush on you. They're like, yeah, I don't date black people. You're like, oh, so
Stealth
you're
baby.
just like the rest of them. You reach a certain
I,
level and now you're only with the whites and Asians, huh?
Then when you put it like that, that's sad.
It is because
it is.
a lot of people think that's me. A lot of people
Yeah.
think that, oh yeah, I can see. I know when you get this, you're not gonna be dating no black person. I said, honey, I'll date anybody I want. I don't discriminate. You will never hear me
Right.
say I would never. I said, but
Mm-hmm.
I won't ever cut out another race. I said, but I don't care who I end up with. But for them to just straight up say I don't date other black people and they
Yeah.
have an actual reason, I find that very disheartening. I'm just like, you're just like the straight black men.
That's crazy. It's a difference between having a preference, but you completely ostracizing like a whole race.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and this is where
Especially
you
your
you
own
you
race.
limiting your
and this is
champion. Like,
why a lot of black
yeah.
people have this thing when it comes to white. Like, I love all race, but it's just like at the same time, you're just like, this bitch gonna
See,
Man, let
win.
me
This bitch gonna
see,
win.
and
Right. That's
let
that's
me
Mhm.
tell
wow.
let me okay, I gotta say something about that one. Just whether it's between a homosexual couple or whatever, when it comes to the whole interracial thing. First of all, I feel the same way. As long as you know how to act, you're not on no dumb shit.
Mhm.
I'll associate with anybody. I don't give a fuck. You know. But I laugh at these cats and we've seen this happen. Okay, they only fuck with white women because of whatever stupid reason. Black women, it is. Black women don't do that. Whatever, whatever. And then turn around, that same white bitch you were so high on and praising the ground she walked on. Now she got you hemmed up for some false rape charge.
Mhm.
And guess who they're going to side with, nigga?
Ooh, he sound mad as
What I
well.
will say
That was
though
really
is
strong,
that
Dion.
what I will
I'm just
say
saying,
though is that
it's happened.
from a
Remember what I
general
said last
aspect of
podcast,
how
Ray?
like
I
our
told you the biggest
society.
prosecutor of black men is white women's tears.
Hey, we're talking over each other.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just saying that, like, in my opinion, I feel like in our society, I truly believe that a black gay man will be accepted before a transsexual.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
I
like,
think black
I
gay
feel
men
like
are except
Well,
for the like the
no.
ignorant
Wait. If the
people. But
trans black person is passing,
mm-hmm.
there's a difference.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're over
Right.
here looking a little bit worse than what's her name from, and she's in Orange is the New Black?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
oh,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you look a little bit worse than her,
her
stop
name's on the
laughing.
tip of my tongue too. It's on
Yes,
the tip of
if you're a little worse than that, I definitely know for a
You know
fact
Yeah.
what?
you're not. They're just looking
As
at
I
you like,
watched
okay.
I never watched On the New Black, but my friend, my roommate in the Marine Corps did. And when I looked at it, I did not know that was a transgender woman until he said something.
Laverne Cox, that's her
I
name.
think I
Laverne
did.
Cox, yes.
Laverne Cox. Thank you. Fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I
because
always knew
if
that was
you
the
get
dude. But
exposed
then
off the
again, like I
bat,
said, my cousin's a drag queen. You can kind of like spot it.
Yeah, Laverne Cox looks
well,
more
yeah,
drag
because you got
queenish than woman.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, because you got some transsexuals out here that look like Scooby Doo, and you can tell that that's not a natural woman. Yeah, they just be getting spotted.
Nigga.
They be getting
Damn.
spotted,
See,
and they wonder why. Like,
this
you
podcast
know,
getting blocked on
it's
YouTube.
it's just
Scooby
it's just
Scooby Doo,
unfortunate
yo.
because, like, they be lying to people, and then when they get
Oh,
called out, they
see,
be like,
nope,
"Well,
nope, nope.
why?" And then
This conversation, nope,
No,
because
Mark.
you know this
Nah,
conversation
Mark.
about to
Hold
go
up.
left.
yeah, you're
You
right.
know it's gonna go left. No, because you know how I feel about that too,
I know,
and you know I would join
you and
in,
I share the same
but
view
I
on
don't
that
want to
shit. It's
go
just
in
like,
on
come
this
on, man.
podcast that's gonna be posted on YouTube. Because when I become famous one day, maybe in the future, I don't got time for nobody pulling this one up. So don't even continue, because you know I would want to join
Man,
in.
you amongst friends, dog. Speak your mind. Fuck that shit.
You know what I'm
No, we
saying?
broadcasting, idiot.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna put this
Even
on
still,
This is
speak
YouTube
your
being
mind.
later.
Fuck that
recorded.
shit.
Usually I speak my
He's trying.
mind, but
Man, leave Dion.
All I know is I'll defend the fuck out of you, Xavier. I'll
Oh
say it.
yeah, I'll
y'all,
defend you,
y'all,
Xavier. I'll
look,
I'm
y'all
gonna
defend
just
have
your
trying to
right
get
I'm
me
to
gonna
say
have
talking
whatever.
shit.
pictures that day.
I'll fight for that.
But at the end of
Any
the
last?
day, like we were. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. I was
My
gonna
last
say any
words.
last
This
words
is gonna be
before we
my
move.
last words. The whole acceptance thing. That's it. I ain't saying I need you. I need to be portrayed on a movie, having oral sex, kissing down men. No, I ain't asking for all that. I'm just saying, leave me the fuck alone when you see me. That's acceptance. Show that
Leave me
that
the
we do
fuck alone.
exist.
You see me.
We do exist in this world, and to coexist with us. That's all we're asking for. Many of us, at least. Okay. When you see me looking at you, trust me, I ain't looking at you because I'm saying, "Oh, damn, I wish I could have you." No, I might be looking at your damn shirt, saying, "Oh, I saw that on Saxon Avenue. That's a nice shirt." Okay, I might look at you and say you're good looking, but I don't stare you down because I ain't that kind of person. But that's all we're asking for, is just to fucking accept us for who we are. Because I got plenty of straight male friends that will tell you I ain't hit on them not once, baby. Trust me, and that's all I gotta say.
Right.
Amen.
Anybody else got any last words on this?
That's a lot ass to you.
No, we straight. We straight.
I think we done said a lot. Okay, all right. Xavier, what's your issue with Summer Walker?
You trying to get me in trouble?
I love Summer Walker.
Not real, nah, because
Because I don't know how everybody feels on her in this podcast and the whole anxiety situation, and I have anxiety too. It's not as severe, but
All
I'm all I'm gonna say is I'm sick of her. Okay, she looks musty and dusty and crusty. Okay, I don't.
ouch.
I just I'm sorry. Me and Kaya, my neck, my back on YouTube, just don't understand how you a stripper hoe sitting there shaking your ass and your puss all in these men's face, but you can't walk on stage to accept a fucking award to say thank you to your goddamn fans, but you're scared from that. That don't make no damn sense to me.
See,
You over
okay,
here with your breasts all out, okay?
I didn't know all that about her.
Your
Damn.
fake ass breasts sitting out, dangling in our faces, but you got so much fucking anxiety. You on fucking IG, shaking, bending over, clapping your pussy, but you got so much fucking anxiety that you can't have a meet and greet, and your damn fans got to stand a foot away from you in a picture, and then they can't even shake your damn hand, let alone get a hug. And then after they take the picture, they're dismissed. You're a whack ass artist to me for doing that bullshit. I don't give a fuck what nobody gotta say. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I had anxiety too, honey, when I be around some straight black men and I be feeling like I'm about to get attacked when I'm walking down the gallery place because of who I was. But guess what? I still end up doing it anyway. Summer Walker, take your ass on that fucking stage, accept your damn award, and take your ass home. I'm about sick of her. I'm about sick of this fucking anxiety bullshit. I'm sick of everybody all of a sudden understanding anxiety. Not everybody in the world has anxiety, and everybody's on her case. And then they want to compare her to Demi Lovato. Talking about something. Ain't nobody tear down Demi Lovato like. I mean, no one tore down Demi Lovato like they're tearing down Summer Walker. That's what they do to
Yes, the
black
fuck they
people.
did.
And yes, the fuck they did. 'Cause all them damn jokes
Yeah, they did.
about that cocaine crack shit. Oh, I was laughing
Yeah,
hoops.
no, she will
They
never
tore her
get over
That
there.
down.
shit was funny.
She will never get over there. Like she be posting pictures on Instagram. I be looking through her comments, and people be saying like, "Oh man, you are the cutest crackhead I've ever seen." Like, that's not going away, bro.
That's
Like I
harsh.
don't care what nobody say.
That's harsh. People are cruel, dog.
Yeah, they're cruel. Like, but me, I'm gonna
Okay, people
keep all
roasted
I want.
Demi Lovato down to the ground. Okay,
Yeah,
She had
down
some
to
down to
her
the
different
Oh
faces.
yeah,
ground.
she got
And
ran
then
through
at
by
that,
Black Twitter.
Summer Walker, her voice is nothing special. I don't care about it. She sounds just like everybody else who's been coming out. She needs to get rid of them damn tattoos. They make her look dirty. Uh, what else? She needs to find a new way to take off her makeup. Okay, she needs to take a full on shower. Uh,
Can,
yeah, and that's
can we talk
it.
about something else? Because he's just gonna keep roasting this bitch.
I'm
Not,
done.
no.
I'm
It's just
done
like
now.
I was not hip to Summer Walker's style of music and who she was, but I took 2 days and a half to listen to her, and I am not a fan of how she sounds. I do get her vibe of music where she's coming from, but it's just not for me. Like I listen to SZA, her and all types of just stuff like that. But when you get artists like her that's on like that same kind of you sound like everybody else who's trying to do R&B quote unquote with that vibey wavy, then you got to really do something to stand out. She doesn't really stand out to me. In the whole anxiety thing, I'm just like, well, when you're in the limelight like that, a lot of people don't really give you the benefit of the doubt, so you got to roll with that because that's the life that you chose. Like Michael Jackson had anxiety, but he stood in front of millions of people. He was most comfortable on the stage. He blocked everybody out and kept it moving, and it's just like, girl, you can at least say hi to your fans. That's like bare minimum. I mean, like when Aaliyah was alive, she took photos with people. She
And she
stopped.
was shy as fuck.
Yeah, she was
That's
shy.
why
She
she like
stopped
wore
and took
glasses half her
photos,
career
and
because she was like super shy. But even she
yeah,
performed.
she got through. So it's like, Summer, whether you have anxiety or not, I do not know. I kind of don't really care. But if you do, you need to roll with the punches because you are in the limelight and people don't really tend to give you the benefit of the doubt because of the lifestyle that you used to live and the lifestyle you have now. So you got to really know where you are before you start acting out when it comes to you shutting down or whatever the case may be, or making that awkward face you do. I don't know what that is when you take your photos. I don't know what that is, but you need to know where you are before you start saying stuff like that, because people will discredit you as an artist because of your personality before your music. They won't listen to you because you're a dick.
Me.
or you're an asshole. If you got a personality similar like that, no one's gonna listen to your music. And because you don't sound that unique, like you don't have no like Adele voice, you don't have like no Whitney Houston, you don't have like something that makes you just a raw beast. You're kind of like everybody else. Like Xavier said,
Basic.
you can like there can be another Summer Walker tomorrow who makes the exact same music, and because she's nice, she can knock her off the plateau or whatever she thinks she's standing on. She gotta get it together.
Okay, all right. The reason why I was saying what's wrong with something wrong because the whole thing about anxiety, I don't know her personally, so I'm not gonna dog her out personally.
Right. I
But
don't
Xavier does have a point. Before I start, Xavier does have a point. You're famous. You kind of like you should at least go and meet and greet with your fans. And this is just me. I've always said I can understand people needing to have a safe space, but sometimes you need to get out your safe space to like really excel in life. Because sometimes the most how can I say the biggest hurdles are the ones that make you uncomfortable, and if you go over them, you feel better about yourself. So you know you can like do shit like this. So
Yeah,
I can see she's very awkward. When you look at it, she's very, very, very awkward. So the fact that she went out there, that's one thing, but I can say her canceling her tour and all the other stuff is like, people come to see you. People like stream your music. They like bought tickets just to come see you. You can't really, as an entertainer, I feel like you can't really let those people down. And like
yeah,
Mark said, Michael Jackson had anxiety, but you would have never known because the way that motherfucker performs, that man, all he has to do is look left and like half the stadium fucking faints.
Yo,
We seen it. Him coming out the Super Bowl when he
yeah,
popped
Super
out,
oh
Bowl.
and all he
yeah,
did is stand there for a minute. He turned left.
That's what I'm saying.
Ah!
And
That was Michael.
Summer Walker coming out singing that girls
sometimes
can't
that's all
never
you.
say yeah. Girls can't never say no. Like, all right, you ain't that big.
Okay, and
The
on
only nice thing I'm gonna say is that I feel like she really needs to seek a professional help for her anxiety. Maybe she needs to
Oh,
be
I thought you.
prescribed
I'm like, that's
to
not
some
nice to
type
say.
of. No, I'm being very honest. I'm not even trying to go in on
No,
her.
but
I
he
get it.
is
I
Nah,
get
let
it.
him
I
though.
understand.
let him finish. Let him finish.
No,
I
seriously, I
understand.
feel like if it's that bad, you need
Mm-hmm.
to seriously go seek help. You need to stop smoking weed and stop doing your own little witchcraft rituals in your
I
room.
saw that too.
I don't know about the stop smoking weed part, but
I don't know, because the weed ain't helping, obviously, because she can't even walk her ass on the damn carpet and take a cute picture over here
maybe
looking
she's not
like a
smoking
hut
enough
toot
weed.
toot, looking a fucking mess. And then walking across the damn stage. I want to say thank you. Okay, bye. Look like a fucking retard. Like, maybe she needs to be on something, or she needs to really have some type of doctor that helps her breathe and helps her go through a mind and makes her meditate. Maybe she needs to do meditation as well. Something. But you cannot have this career acting like that. Because not even Miss Diva, fabulous Mariah Carey acts like that. Mariah Carey will greet her fans. And I'm not saying she doesn't have anxiety, but it's like, damn, like if Mariah Carey can be out here shaking hands like, girl, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and on the other thing, like because Mark and Xavier said, I've been saying this when Ella May's album dropped, and I said, "Hey, the album is good, but the problem I have with it is that they have the same R&B formula where you could put anybody in that role, and you wouldn't recognize the difference." And
At
like I
all.
said, especially with today's R&B, and I've been saying this with today's R&B, like everyone sounds the same. Like
The same.
there's a vibe
Right.
singers,
It's a
there's your
vibe.
Papa Molly singers, or like them sad nigga hour singers. Everybody really sounds the same, and people been saying this. And then when I tell people in the '90s, Tony Braxton did not sound like Whitney Houston. Brownstone, I can tell the difference between Brownstone and SWV. It's like you,
Right,
Sade didn't sound like any other fucking singer.
Okay. Lisa
right.
Fisher didn't sound like
Motherfuckers were
Melissa
unique.
Morgan. Tina Marie
Yep.
didn't sound like Sheena Easton.
Don't get me
Prince
started on
didn't
Tina
sound
Marie.
like
Yeah.
Michael. Like everybody had their own sound, and everybody was unique, and it was amazing in their own way.
See, that reminds me of something. Who here has been watching the show The Masked Singer?
Not me.
Not
Yeah,
not me. I saw clips.
I've been
Okay,
watching for the reveals, but go ahead.
the last episode on the last episode, for those who did watch, the person dressed as the in the flower costume got eliminated.
Patty
And when you
LaBelle.
heard that voice, if you did not know that was Patty from the moment she first got on that stage, I don't know what to tell you. Upon hearing that voice, if you didn't know that was Patty, I don't know what to tell you. You know,
Thank you
Hey,
for the
because that
spoiler. Now I'm not gonna go watch it. Now I'm a little upset.
I mean, they're going. I mean, it's going to get
I only
spoiled.
took
It's the Masked Singer.
I mean, I know who T Pain
right.
was when he won the shit. I was like, that's
Exactly.
T
Everyone
Pain.
exactly. He has a unique voice. That's why I brought up Patty LaBelle. Patty LaBelle has a unique voice.
Okay, you put Janae Aiko, LMA, SZA, all of them. You'd be like, they all kind of sound the same, but
I
I
don't
think that
know
I
if
can
might
tell
be.
SZA,
I was
maybe
gonna
not the
say
rest of them,
SZA
but
might
SZA,
sound a little different.
Which
I
is
never liked Janae
SZA,
Aiko,
I
so
can pick her.
I love
I never
Janae
liked
Aiko,
Janae
but
Aiko.
which is funny because Summer Walker did have a song with Janae Aiko, and I didn't know that Janae Aiko was on the fucking song.
Bruh, I listened to that song 2 times and I'm like, when did they switch? Who's who? Like, is this one big verse? Or did like Janae Aiko do the odd like the
And
sound
then
effects or something? Like where is she? I had to listen to that
Janae
song
Aiko was
3 times
boring
to
to
figure out
me.
who was who.
She was boring.
Like
Do you
how
like
does she
vibe
walk or sound the
singers?
same?
Because
They
she
both
just
got
that's a
that
vibe. If you
Yeah,
pretty
she's a vibe,
vibey
and I like
voice.
vibe singers. My favorite vibe singer is Tinashe.
But Tanasha don't sound like everybody though. She's just
Well,
underrated.
which is why she hasn't blown up. Really, I don't know. I think because she is different. I don't know. I feel like this generation people like the same shit.
They do. No, that's a fact.
But the things though,
that's ass
everybody
backwards.
wants a Whitney Houston, everybody wants a Tony Braxton, everybody wants a great Tina Marie now. But when
You're
those
not
singers
gonna
come
get it. You're
out,
not gonna get it.
right, and when those
I'm not
singers
gonna
come
say you're not
out, you
gonna
don't
get it.
support. I don't
No,
understand.
no.
These singers
You
are out
can't
here and they
be.
don't support.
There's
I agree
already
with
been
that.
a Whitney Houston, a Tina Marie, whatever, whatever. You can't be them.
What he's
Be
saying
you.
is
That's not
like
what he's
everybody. No, what
saying,
he's saying
though.
is everybody got a different voice, not just like you being Whitney, just having a different voice from everybody. So when you come on the track, it's like, oh, that's so and so, and when somebody else going, oh,
Yeah.
that's so and so.
I mean, like, look at Jennifer
Uh,
Hudson, and people be playing with Jennifer Hudson, saying all she does is straighten her voice. I'm like, but Jennifer Hudson
But
be
you know that's
blowing,
Jennifer.
right? I said,
Yeah,
and
You
she
why
know
can
you
that's
trying to
sing
play
Jennifer.
like
half.
Jennifer Hudson can't sing?
Yeah,
I
she
said
can
she
sing her
technically
ass off.
sounds
What are you
better than
talking about?
Beyonce if we're gonna keep it funky.
Well, they try to outthink each other in Dreamgirls. Low key,
Yes,
they try to outthink each other in Dreamgirls.
Yeah, they
and
did. Yeah, they did. I'm like, yo,
I'm
Jennifer is
sorry.
about to
I'm
blow that
sorry.
camera out.
Jennifer Hudson has a way stronger voice than B.
She
way
does.
stronger,
Duh,
She
way
duh.
does.
stronger, way
That's a,
stronger,
and that's why she tried to
way.
outthink her in fucking Dreamgirls.
Now you want to know
Make
what made
your
it?
way to the
It,
top,
it,
round and
Yeah,
my thing.
around. She ain't have to do all that.
the main
She
The
ain't have
one
to
thing
do
I
all
will
that.
say, as far as them two goes, I think Jennifer Hudson's the better singer. I think Beyonce's a better performer. There is a difference.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yes.
and there is a
but
Yeah.
people
difference.
always associate performance with singing, so they're like, "Oh, Beyonce's better because she be having me dancing and moving." Like
Right,
that's
but I'm
not
like, no,
singing, bro.
Beyonce
That's
has
performing.
the voice of somebody who chews tobacco. I'm like, no,
I will. Okay, I won't say all that.
Wow.
Okay, I won't say all
no,
that now.
you know what
I'll
I
never
mean. Like
say
the
that
way
she
she
just
sings.
flat
Wow.
out can't sing, but
No, I ain't saying that. I'm being funny, but it's like her voice is deep. She don't
Wow.
be, she don't be blowing you out the fucking water.
When you
She be over
mix
here
that
with her
Negro with
damn,
that Creole, that's a Texas
over here
Bama.
with her swamp
go sit in the
music.
corner.
Now.
All that
Oh
swamp
man,
music singing she does.
I
Oh,
don't
Oh,
know.
girls can't never say no.
it's funny because 7-Eleven is like my favorite Beyonce song.
And don't get me wrong,
7-Eleven,
her best
7-Eleven.
album was her first album. I loved me some Beyonce, but it's like she don't sing like Jennifer Hudson at all. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
I see your halo. Halo.
that's why Jennifer Hudson can do Patti LaBelle songs so well. Beyonce can't.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why she. That's why she do them
Yeah.
countrified ass music.
I said,
Yeah.
let me like let me
Beyonce has a nice voice, but she doesn't have that power behind her shit.
let me find someone that sings like Deborah Cox. It'll blow you out your water.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. I hate how
How did you get here? What?
yeah. I
You
hate
can't
that
tell me her
song with a
voice
passion
wasn't.
probably because I heard it all my life, but Deborah Cox will blow you out the water. And matter of fact, a lot of singers from Canada could really blow you out the water. Like Melanie Fiona, that girl can blow too.
Celine
Woo! Melanie
Dion.
Filiona can blow.
Celine Dion,
Uh huh.
a lot of them. Any last words on
Shit.
this? Wallace, I know you really didn't say much on this. You got anything to say on this?
All right. So
Ooh.
here's the thing, right?
CBD
Now
edible arrangements?
I
What?
will not. I will say that, like, I think social anxiety is different for everybody, even if it doesn't make sense. Because, like, all the shit y'all said is very valid. And yes, it doesn't make sense how she could be a stripper and all that, and yet not stand and receive an award or not meet her fans and shit like that. But I just think that it's that unpredictable, or it's that like just uh intimidating to deal with, like in general. So when it comes to certain people, it's gonna manifest itself in a way where it does not make sense, and you look at it and you're like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I think it's very easy to kind of overlook it in the sense that, oh, okay, because someone has social anxiety,
Mm.
they can do X and X, they can't do X and X. But at the same time, it's also very individual. It's not going to be, there's not a guide for it. You know what I'm saying? There's not like a textbook that
Mm-hmm.
these are the signs of social anxiety, and this is what's going to happen when you have it. It either is going to manifest itself in a way where you can clearly tell this motherfucker has some issues, or it's going to manifest itself in a way where, okay, this is strange because if you can do this, then how come you can't do this and certain shit like that? Which is what I think is very apparent in a lot of people who have mental illness, because we've all seen those people, like, when they in groups or whatever, they're pretty chill, but there just be certain situations where they just bugging out. You're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But, like, in those situations, we kind of forget, or we kind of overlook the fact that this shit is unpredictable. And
Mm-hmm.
why the reason why people don't really even mention it or talk about it in the first place is because it's very easy to like just push that out the way and look at it for what it is, instead of the effect. So in terms of Summer Walker, I think she's going to get better. I think, like, right now it's just really rough because her career is relatively young, but I think if she's still relevant in about 5 years, I think it's gonna be a lot better. I think she's gonna do, because you'll never know, whether she's gonna have 5 years, whether she not, we don't know. All we can go from is what has
Yeah.
happened before. So in 5 years,
I,
maybe she's gonna get better, maybe not. But that's why time is there. We gonna see at the very end of the day.
the way the situation sounds, I don't think she has 5 years.
Okay.
That's why I say we gonna wait and see.
But then
I'm
she
not.
got to do like Aaliyah. Then
Yeah,
she got to do like Aaliyah. Aaliyah started with the R. Kelly sound, and then when she got with Missy and Timberland, she got her own sound. People can do it. It's possible. Because like in the '90s, the R. Kelly sound was working for Aaliyah. It was, but at the same time, you could tell that was an R. Kelly sound. But when she got to, I feel like she really blossomed into her own character when she worked with Missy and Timberland. So it's really possible. Philip, what you got to say?
I wanted to kind of use a different uh, mental health issue to piggyback what Wallace was saying about the unpredictability. And I'm gonna use PTSD. I watched a documentary on people with PTSD. Well, the effects of weed having on PTSD, and they come to one guy who basically lived like a hermit. He wouldn't go outside at night. He wouldn't go outside unless it was night. He had his whole house blacked out because light was a trigger. But then I have a friend who was in the army, and his triggers are not always, guaranteed. He was doing something normal that he did for his mother ever since he was out, and I was going to the store. He drive up to the store, drives up. As soon as he stepped through the door, he said he was just overwhelmed with all these bunch of these different feelings, and it was triggered. He wasn't even sure what it was, but for that moment, everything was just extra loud, extra bright, and he's not even sure what trigger. And that's the same thing and that could be with any mental issue. A lot of folks don't know I suffer with depression at times, and I try to not make it a crutch, but this times I'm like, it's just affecting me. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I want to cry with no apparent reason why. Just want to break down and cry, and I don't have an idea why. And I actually hate it because I'm like, what the fuck am I crying for? Nothing's going on. And so when things happen, like my aunt died earlier this year, it was extra worse for me. That's all I had to say. Like some things can make it worse. To really know. Shoot, even I tend to be with social anxiety. Sometimes I love being around people, but I remember times I'm going out with other Marines in the club, and I'm good for an hour, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to go. Or I might be dancing, but I don't want to be in the middle of the dance group. Then sometimes I do, and I can't dance for shit, but that ain't the point. But yeah,
Hmm.
Anybody else got some words on before we get to our final thoughts?
Nah.
All right. All right. Let's get to our final thoughts. And since Dion, this is your first time jumping on here, you start with the final thoughts.
Hmm.
It doesn't have
Where
to
to
go
begin?
into
Because I
this one.
kind of hopped in
Your
with
final thoughts could
the.
be anything. Just so you know,
I,
your final thoughts could be anything.
it's just okay. I had a question about the depression thing. When you do hit those low points, because like I know people who struggle with that. I've even been there, at some juncture or another myself. But what do you do to kind of like cope with that shit? What helps you when you get to that point?
what help me when I get to that point?
Yeah.
It depends on what it's about. Sometimes it's getting out. Sometimes it's talking to people. Sometimes it's talking to a professional.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just listening to certain music. I can be down. I got a whole motivation playlist, and I sometimes I go play that. It depends.
Is
All right.
that it,
But your
Dion?
final thoughts.
Yeah.
All right. First Black Ginger.
My final thoughts.
Yeah.
Fuck everything. I don't know.
Money Mark.
My final word. I don't even know. Oh, God, when you have different lanes in your way, find yours, stick with it, and be great. Don't let nobody tell you what's good and what's not good for you. But please be open minded that when you are a celebrity, people tend not to give you the benefit of the doubt. Understand that, move forward, take it and heed it, and respect your fans. That goes for every celebrity,
Uh,
not just Summer Walker.
okay. Tony, you got any final thoughts?
Yes, mine is kind of a little bit long, a little bit big subject, but Infinite Wars, right? So I look at Arrow, Flash, Black Lightning, all of them have their shows where they intertwine to be on the same show. Where they got, but they got this show right now that's about to
I
come
definitely
out.
told you that.
They about to have this show that come out in December called Infinite Wars. They're gonna bring every superhero
You
that
mean
had a
Infinite
TV show
Crisis?
on CW on these
I thought it
three
was called Infinite
episodes.
Crisis.
Yeah, Infinite Crisis. Yeah. So
Yeah. The crisis of
they gonna
infinite
have every
Earths.
superhero that had a suit, even the people from Smallville too. They gonna be on there. So if y'all want to check that out, check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is Crisis on Infinite Earths. You're absolutely right, Dion. I'm just saying, like I thought it was that. Like
Yeah, it's Infinite. It's Infinite Worlds.
All right, Xavier.
Uh, I'm not feeling well, and my sinus is bothering me. I am ready to go to bed, and I hope everyone has a good night.
That was real.
Okay, Father.
Okay, let me. So for my final words, I
My
Mhm.
just
God.
want to say this real quick because it's kind of been bothering me for a little while. Leave Megan the Stallion alone. That is a grown ass woman. Mind your own goddamn business. God damn. She guessed with Trey songs. Oh my god, money bag. Oh, that nigga look like a diaper. She fucking does like all this little shit that she does and shit. Everybody got a damn opinion. Why can't we just mind our own goddamn business? God damn. Shit.
Because people don't have lives.
I'm
Damn.
sorry. I just want her to stop shaking her ass and
That's
fucking
fine.
rap.
Hey,
At,
let her
at
No.
least,
shake her ass.
but you know what? But you know what, Xavier? At least it ain't something like extra. Like she shake her ass, you don't like it. That's fine. But all these other niggas are just, oh my god, she got money, man. You got 7 baby, yeah, you got 7 daughters or whatever, 7 baby mamas or whatever. Oh my god, she with Trey Songs. Did he suck his dick? Like, shut the fuck up. God damn, undesirable.
Is this the serious girl? Is back.
Shout out to Trey Songs, by the
Uh, oh, you done? You done,
way.
Father?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. One thing. Shout outs to NXT because they've been carrying Survivor Series. Not Survivor Series, but the build for Survivor Series throughout this entire month,
They've been
and it's
carrying
been like,
WWE in general.
yeah, but like mostly for the Survivor Series shit. They kind of no SmackDown. SmackDown been doing this shit. Raw and SmackDown been better. It's
Yeah,
just
they been
NXT is
way
just
better.
yeah. Raw and SmackDown have been way better this year. It's just that NXT is just godlike. And but shout outs to like especially Wednesday's episode. That's probably one of the best episodes I've seen because everybody that shit was mayhem. So shout outs to
Oh,
NXT and Triple H for like carrying that promo and made me give a fuck about Survivor Series,
Yeah, the
which is
chaos
like
was real.
my third favorite pay per view. Which is like my third favorite pay per view. Um, other than that, and I'm probably going to talk about this some other time. But just because Stephen A. Smith does not have the same opinion as much as other blacks about Colin Kaepernick does not make him a coon. And this is just me. I hate the word coon because I feel like most people don't know coon unless that nigga's just buck dancing in front of your face. I can understand there are people with different opinions, but I'm not going to straight call him a coon. But I also know a coon when I see one, aka a Jesse Lee Peterson or a David Clark. I can understand what a coon looks like.
hey,
Stephen
Ryan.
A. Stephen A. Smith, I can understand. He says some shit that you make you go, "What the fuck?" But at the same time, that man has done broken barriers, and this for any other black dude. For like anybody that's broken barriers, have done stuff for black people, has put in charities for black people. It's like it's okay to disagree with him, but don't call him a damn coon. Because
I think
Coon,
people just tired of it.
coon,
I get where you come from.
coon.
It's a fun
we get
one. I'm sorry.
we gonna talk about that later, Tony. But
Kanye
that's
West.
all.
Yeah, he's a lost cause. He
Kanye's
ain't
Kanye.
cool.
Is Kanye West a
Kanye's
coon?
Kanye
Kanye.
just lost.
See,
Kanye's been
Nah, he lost.
Kanye.
you can't you
Kanye's
can't
He went
call
to he
Kanye a
went to the
coon
white people
because
church.
Kanye ain't in his right mind.
Kanye has always been like this. Why does people just like now getting this? Kanye has always been
Yeah.
like this. He has never been like he's been egotistical, he's been narcissistic, and like he always needs someone to like lean on him. If it's not his mother, it was Donald Trump. If it was not Donald Trump, it's God. And yes, even though I believe in God, I think he leans on him to the fact that he hides behind it. Yes, but I'm not gonna call that nigga a coon. But he's doing a lot of buck dancing. But I would
I won't call Kanye a coon simply because I don't believe he's in his right state of mind with the shit he's been doing and saying over the last few years.
that nigga do buck dance. I'm not gonna lie. But
But you believe? Don't you know Michael A. Smith? He got an $8 million contract every year that he just
Stephen
renewed
A.
his
Smith.
contract.
Stephen A.
Yeah,
Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Who's Michael?
All right,
8
here we go.
mil.
All right,
8 mil
hold
dance
that
for the
thought.
money.
Hold that thought, Tony, because we're going to talk about this in another time. Let me
Wait,
go ahead and end this so a lot of
wait,
y'all can go to
a
bed.
quick fact. Did y'all know Trey Songz is 6'2"?
Oh yeah,
No,
he's
I
pretty
did not.
tall.
He
He's
looks
shorter than
he
that.
looks so much
No.
shorter on TV.
I
He
thought
looks
he
Yeah, I
very
was
thought he
smart.
was like 5'8", 5'9".
5'7". Yes, I thought he was
I
short.
thought Trey was short. I thought that nigga was my height.
I thought he was short too.
Oh,
What was that horror movie he was in? When he got
He was
murdered
in
by
one of the
the.
Texas
House
Chainsaw
of
joints.
Flesh.
Yeah. He
Chainsaw
looked small in
movie.
that joint. Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Alexandra Daddario.
That's why he must be screaming so like that. Yeah, because he tall as hell.
Damn, that nigga got everything. That nigga light skinned with hair and got
Light
height.
And he's
skin.
light skinned.
Golly.
And he
What?
sang
Yeah.
and he could sing.
Yeah,
Golly.
it's not like somebody we know, but he's a lost cause.
Wait. Trey Songz is
He
light
supposed to
skinned.
be the
He is
exact
not light
same
skinned.
as
He's
chocolate chip cookie dough.
He's brownish.
I don't know if he's passing the brown paper bag test. I don't
he's
know.
not. He's not.
He's not passing the brown paper bag. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's
All
darker
right.
than caramel.
Right, but he ain't. Yeah, he
Like
definitely
I said, he's
ain't like that.
You know what?
brownish.
He's light
Light
brown.
skinned.
He's light brown.
That nigga a Teddy Graham.
Oh God, is that really what I'm referring to him as?
Nah, man, let's just call him a
I'm not gonna convert to another nigga as caramel. So
you're a beige greyhound.
Yeah.
this caramel ass nigga. Let me go ahead. Let me
Bruh.
go ahead and end this podcast.
Yes.
I would like to thank everybody for listening. Hear us talk our shit again. Dion, thank you for jumping on the podcast. Finally, this is you know
Ugly
what. Let me
ass.
just say podcast, and I'm signing out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Good night.